said that it's not time to monkey around with the economy down in Florida.
No, I didn't hear, honestly.
A racist comment.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, Jim. I mean, I've been actually working on the deal with Canada, so I have not heard it. I tell you what, I know Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is extraordinary.
There were just a few people who said that this moment would not be possible.
When I was little, relatives called us neighborhood kids yard apes, curtain climbers, and ankle biters. Nobody got offended. As I remember it, it was kind of funny. If our friends were fat, we called them fatso. If they had zits all over their mug, we called them pizza face. Yeah, people may have gotten offended for a time, but we grew a thicker skin and moved on. But I remember a simpler time where we weren't sitting on a hairpin trigger ready to go off and ask some public official to make a law making it illegal for others to hurt our feelings. We sucked it up and we went on about our business. Our friends were a mix of Irish, Germans, black kids, Hispanic kids. We all got along. Sure, we fought a little, but we built a bridge and we got over it really quick. Everything was pretty raw back then. What you saw was pretty much what you got. Riding our bikes, throwing rocks in the St. Joe River, exploring all the new houses being built all around us. We were always outside drinking dirty river water, catching minnows, throwing clods of dirt on water spiders, and playing King of the Hill. And most of us turned out pretty good. But then we weren't all influenced by mainstream media like people are today. We spent the night at each other's houses, popping Jiffy Pop popcorn. Remember those cool tinfoil pans you'd shake over the stove as you watched that silver foil just expand like it was about to explode? I can almost smell the burnt popcorn on the bottom right now. We'd ride our bikes with baseball cards in the spokes, without helmets of course. And you remember those yard darts? We'd throw those things way up in the air to see how close we could get to our buddies without actually hitting anybody. Statistically, we probably shouldn't have survived our childhood, but we did. If you were a frail little snowflake back then, and as I remember it, there weren't many of those, well, you stayed inside, ate Knox blocks, and watched Little House on the Prairie. I don't know. The point is, we are now in a world where mainstream media is constantly trying to program us and tell us how bad things are. They exacerbate and accentuate situations and phrases and turn them around and use them as tools of division. Take racism, for example. Seems like every time you turn around, they're trying to revive the racism story. And if they can't find any racial stories to present to their dwindling audience, well, they don't have any problem just making shit up. How else are they going to get views unless they stir up some juicy, nonsensical controversy? Here's the latest in a string of race-baiting tactics that just makes you want to grab one of those yard darts and... never mind. Let's just watch the clip everybody's worked up about.
Well, look, I mean, this is Florida elections are always competitive, and this is a guy who, although he's much too liberal for Florida, I think he's got huge problems with how he's governed Tallahassee. He is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. And I watched those Democrat debates. None of that was my cup of tea, but I mean, he performed better than the other people there. So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda.
Now here's my take. Who would look at this and say, oh my God, he just uttered a racial slur in relation to black people by using the phrase monkey up. He must be referring to black people as monkeys. He can only mean that as a vitriolic term of derision. It's time to go ballistic. Get Reverend Sharpton on the phone. Call CNN. We need to hold this racist to account. And if he's not being racist, we can still score points with our advertisers by getting more eyes on their products. Here are a couple reactions. First, Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks.
Okay, so that was on purpose. Let's start with bad and go to really ugly in his comments.
Can I play devil's advocate first?
Sure.
So you said that was on purpose. What if someone says, well, maybe he unwittingly used a word that is usually used in a racist context. So monkey is the word that I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Is there any chance that he unwittingly used that word?
No, he did it so we could do this segment. And of course, not about the Young Turks in particular, although that would be fun. No, so that all the press would call him racist. And why would he want the press to call him racist? It's the Trump strategy. What he's doing is he's planting his flag and telling all the what he perceives to be the white racist voters of Florida, I'm your guy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna let this, I can't even say it, right? Person take over, okay? I'm not gonna let this black guy take over.
You can always count on Cenk to kick out an unsubstantiated, subjective accusation. Now CNN's Cuomo and Gillum's reaction.
Now, you have a tone issue about what this race will be like between you and Congressman DeSantis. Here's what he said today.
He is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda.
Well, I'll try to be articulate, Chris, and simply say that that kind of vitriol, and he's apparently given up the whistle. They've gone to the bullhorn with these kinds of tactics, but they're not going to work. We tried this one time. Donald Trump, this is a page from his playbook, basically tried to divide this country and my state. And I want them to know that Florida voters are smarter than that, that we are going to reject the politics of separation.
You don't agree with his campaign statement, Mr. Mayor, that he didn't mean that by it, if that's not the way it was meant. Monkey this up. What does that mean to you? Here's the statement. Just so for the audience. He was obviously talking about Florida not making the wrong decision to embrace the socialist policies that Gillum espouses. To characterize it as anything else is absurd. You disagree?
Well, look, I don't know the phrase. Looking at the whole clip, I think he was clear about what he meant. He understood the dog whistle that he was blowing. And I understand that he intends to speak to a particular part of the base to incite them. Right. But the truth is I think there are a majority of us who disagree with that brand of politics.
And here's Shep Smith from Fox in Gillum's reaction.
A bubbling on the internet, it's trending, it's at the top of most political websites. Something that he said to our host, Sandra Smith, regarding the upcoming election. I want to let our viewers hear what was said.
So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state.
It was the monkey this up part. Sir, your response.
Yeah, that part wasn't lost on me. It's very clear that Mr. DeSantis is taking a page directly from the campaign manual of Donald Trump. But I think he's got another thing coming to him. If he thinks that in today's day and age, Florida voters are going to respond to that level of derision and division, they're sick of it. What we're trying to offer in this race is
that
a North
racist
Star
or
for where we want to go as a state.
Was that racist or a figment of speech?
Well, in the handbook of Donald Trump, they no longer do whistle calls. They're now using full bullhorns.
And that was a bullhorn?
And what I've got to say about that is that we've got to make sure that we stay focused, I think, on the issues that confront everyday people. I'm not going to get down in the gutter with DeSantis and Trump.
And of course, we have Fox News setting the record straight, letting the audience know that they don't condone DeSantis' use of the phrase monkey things up.
DeSantis has since clarified his comment in a statement saying, quote, Ron DeSantis was obviously talking about Florida not making the wrong decision to embrace the socialist policies that Andrew Gillum espouses. To characterize it as anything else is absurd. We do not condone this language and wanted to make our viewers aware that he has since clarified his statement.
I'm implying that DeSantis said something wrong when in fact he did not. So it's another day on board the crazy train of banker-controlled media and politics as we watch narcissistic psychopaths who want to steal and redistribute your money melt down over a simple phrase that they're going out of their way to make racial. Guys, racial division is nothing new in the media. It's being exacerbated by media giants because it works to keep us divided. And the longer we keep listening to these creeps and allowing ourselves to be deceived and distracted, the longer the Zionist bankers get to work their magic behind the curtain without hindrance. That's why when I get down, I dream dreams where little black boys and girls can make fun of little white boys and girls who make fun right back. Everybody has a laugh and they go home as friends in a neighborhood not tainted by mainstream media idiocracy. And if you want to see what that looks like, sit back, relax, have a laugh or two with this clip, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Mr. Don Rico! I bring love and I bring peace. And I bring kindness and warmth. I love the black people. The black people of my life, my world, they do what they're told. We're honoring Mr. T. Why? I met this man many, many years ago in a 7-Eleven store, and he said, "Give me your money." And of course, this little annoying midget. You were great in that picture, Ricky. I loved you. Gee, Jim, I want to be with you, Jim. Sniffling and whining all over the screen. And Aunt Jillian, you're a lovely woman and gorgeous. And I'm happily married, but my wife is ill. Her body dances and tingles. My wife's body just lays in the bed and goes, bleh. I got an old walrus, but I gotta be nice because everything's in her name. Of course, Rich Little, who does impressions, but he doesn't do one of my biggies. My first picture, Rich, you could never top me on this. Clark Gable runs Salon D. I want to tell you, Mr. T, I don't give a damn what's happening. Take the ship down. Dive, down. Anyway, please, don't applaud. Don't applaud. You're not going any place doing fraud tricks on your shoulder. You're laughing, and the black guy just rolled you. I'd like you to know this is Nell Carter. I had the pleasure of being a guest star on her show, Give Me a Break. I brought her a lovely gift, and she said, "I'm not talking to you, man. I'm not talking to you." She's a lovely, lovely star. You ask her. I've seen her in her bathrobe in the dressing room, and people go, "I'm being sucked under." And George Papard, who keeps calling me on the phone saying, "Why is that black guy getting the bigger lines?" Anyway, George isn't jealous, but when you go to bed tonight, try to listen for a clock. Your part, George, is getting smaller and smaller. Tell him what you told me, how you're fed up with the blacks and you don't want them in your neighborhood. But we need the blacks. Without them, there'd be no Olympics. I'll tell you this. That's right. These people are great runners. You put a gun in their can, they can beat a bullet. Oh, by the way, I would be amiss if I didn't mention that Bob Hope is here tonight. It's good to see you, Bob. He's here because there's no war on. And Howard Cosell, I say from the bottom of my heart, you're annoying and you should go away. And so, again, to Mr. T, you're the best. You've proven that, and continued success. Thank you very much.
Guys, I don't know how much longer my channel will be around here on YouTube. Please take a minute and sign up to my email list. It's free, painless, and you'll get some cool stuff. Also, take another minute to subscribe to my decentralized, censorship-free BitChute and Steemit channels. All these links are in the description. I want you to know this. If my channel goes down, I'll still produce content for you guys through my website and through BitChute and Steemit. So make sure you stay connected through the email subscription link in the description below. Just watch the 45-second video on my website and you'll be all set. If you want to support my work on this channel, grab a shirt, snag a flashlight, or hit me up on Patreon and PayPal. I'll see you guys in the next video. Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie, and that all official stories should be questioned. Also, let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheepvolution, taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops enjoy protecting and serving the crap out of you, that the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 90 designs. I take your requests for new designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. The link to the store is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.